Crazy things are happening all around the world. When we take out the number 2 most powerful man in Iran, thank you, President Trump. Right here on the home front, we have Nancy Pelosi trying to impeach the president but refusing to turn over. He's a candidate, the presumed nominee, as he said, for U.S. Senate in New Jersey. Stuart, thanks for joining us on Liquid Lunch.
Great seeing John.
You
Great to be here.
In Atlantic City this week. Before getting into it, Frankie, I think we got some breaking news.
Well, in line with killing. So we were told these troops were going to be coming home from the Middle East. Instead, we're sending more.
Not good, but we got to have some support there. You know, Stuart, when we had the attack on the embassy in Benghazi, Hillary didn't answer that phone call and led to, you know, a whole host of American deaths and casualties and injuries and everything else. To me, at least the president, you know, marshaled some forces over there and said, no, you're not taking down our embassy in Iraq. Where do you come down? I know you're running for Senate. This is going to be something you're going to have to be working on, I'm sure, because these tensions with Iran don't seem to be getting better.
Well, I think it's really important that a president's words mean something. And, you know, I think we went through an Obama administration that had these red lines that people crossed over and over again and nothing happened. That sends the wrong message to our enemies, and I think that's probably why, a good reason why Iran has been so active, in addition to the $170 billion that Cory Booker voted for in voting for that Iran deal. So I think that encourages bad actors like Iran to do what they're doing.
So, Stuart, I want to touch upon a few other issues that are national news and hear a little bit more about your campaign. But assuming that this was the right move to take out General Soleimani, and I don't see anybody in the United States mourning the loss of this guy, clearly one of the world's greatest monsters. But should the president have gone to Congress and gotten some authorization for the use of force?
The president can't go to Congress every time he's considering an action.
How about every time we assassinate a foreign leader?
Well, you know,
that would be a grand total of one time so far.
Well, I think the president has some leeway when there's an imminent threat. And if the State Department is telling him that he just left leading a group attacking the U.S. Embassy and he has other forward plans, I think the president could frame that under imminent threat.
Thank you, Stuart. I appreciate it. If you're elected to the Senate, that's the body that is currently in the midst of weighing how this impeachment trial is going to go. Hopefully, it'll finally be over by the time you get there. How do you see this whole impeachment situation coming down? I know you were a prosecutor under Bob Morgenthau in the Manhattan DA's office.
And Dennis Vacco, Attorney General.
So tell us how you see this playing out.
I think it's a colossal waste of time. I think everyone knows what the outcome is going to be. And I don't know why we're not focusing on the real issues that people care about, like prescription drug prices and what's going on in Iran, what have you. This is a complete waste of time. And I don't understand it because, you know, it all comes down to looking into a former vice president. I thought no one is above the law. Does that mean except for former vice presidents?
And you can't have it both ways. Directors of the FBI. Yesterday's news that Andrew McCabe lied to investigators.
So what would you say the biggest issue, if you had to pick one, the single biggest issue in your campaign, a state that has not sent a Republican to the U.S. Senate since Clifford Case? Why would New Jersey, a blue state, go Republican with you? Why should they take a chance?
Because what we have now and what we've had for the last 6 years is an empty suit. We have someone in the U.S. Senate that has done nothing. He's passed literally 9 laws in 6 years, 3 of which was to change the names of post offices. Is that an accomplishment? I don't think so. I think we have a lot of issues to deal with, from taxes, lowering the removal of the salt tax. I think was a mistake. At least phase it in, and if I'm there, I'm going to raise that from $10,000 to $20,000, if not bring it back entirely, because it's killing New Jersey. That's why half the state says they're going to leave within 10 years.
So I'm with you, Stuart. I think that Cory Booker peaked when he was mayor of Newark in the PR department. But just so people can know more about your candidacy and what you stand for, where do you come down between pro-life, pro-choice?
Well, I believe in the sanctity of human life. However, I do believe that people should have the right to an abortion early, early in the process, but you should not wait to make that decision. I think people are right on both sides of that issue. But
you're thoughtfully engaged on it. Maybe the time that it happens, but women do have some right to their body in the early stages. In your view,
yeah, I think the viability of life is important. That obviously time period is getting earlier and earlier based on science. But I was a prosecutor, and I see no difference if someone dies, if a pregnant woman dies in the 7th month, that's 2 murders. But on the other hand, I do believe that there should be the ability to have an abortion early.
Okay. So let me ask you this: where can people go to find out more about your campaign? If they like what they see, maybe make a donation. What's your website where people can learn more about it?
It's MeissnerForSenate.com. And on Twitter, I'm at Stuart Meissner, as well as NG. Stuart Meissner.
Stuart Meissner, MeissnerForSenate.com to hear more about his platforms, what he stands for, and why he wants to be the guy to take down Cory Booker. We're getting a call right now. It's probably one of those crazy Chinese robocalls that are annoying us all, but we're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back with some more Liquid Lunch right after this.